Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
Selling Sunset.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Sisters Who Watch.
Hello. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura, and we're sisters who watch everything: TV, movies, sports, concerts, and even realtors dressed like Fashion Nova models, doing everything but selling real estate. We love to watch, and we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching
Selling
Sunset.
Season 8 of Netflix's real estate docusoap.
Emphasis on soap. And before we get into it, please make sure you're giving Sisters Who Watch 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes,
Rate,
please.
download, subscribe, follow us on social media at Sisters Who Watch. And you can support us through Zelle, sisterswatch@gmail.com, and by listener support on Spotify and buying our merch on our website. Thank you, guys.
That's right. I appreciate y'all. And hopefully you are watching us on Spotify or YouTube because in honor of Nico, Jason and Mary's dog,
Rest in peace.
we are wearing black. So in solidarity.
My condolences. My condolences.
Sorry for your loss.
Rest in peace, Nico. Okay. Shelby, let's get into the background of Selling Sunset, please.
So here's the log line as always. The elite real estate brokers at the Oppenheim Group sell the luxe life to affluent buyers in LA. The drama ramps up when a new agent joins the team. Drama.
Drama.
And it's true. It feels like this show is more about drama than real estate, but I'm here for it. We eat it up. There have been 7 previous seasons, which is wild to think, because I remember when we first started watching Selling Sunset. So the fact that they're on season 8 is crazy. What makes Selling Sunset really great is they brought like the drama from Real Housewives into a real estate show, which I feel like you kind of maybe saw a $1 Million Listing in Bravo, but it feels like Selling Sunset brought it to the next level.
1000%. This is not a real estate show. The Oppenheim brothers love to try and convince us and swindle us into thinking this is about real estate. I don't think they sell any of these houses. I don't think the Oppenheim Group is real. Like, how are they expanding? Like, none of it makes any sense. Speaking of expansion for the Oppenheim Group, selling the OC, you know, I was with a friend and I watched a couple episodes. It was bad. I was
really,
like,
I've never seen it.
It's just like the people are not super interesting. And then we watched Selling Tampa when it came out. Only lasted 1 season. And it's so sad because it was like the Black woman version of Selling Sunset. So I really want it to work. I know. Who would have thought?
I just think they also ran into the problem of, are they actually selling real estate in houses? Like, you barely
that show
sell real estate. And if you thought it was bad on Selling Sunset, it was worse than Selling Tampa. People did not feel like they were credible real estate agents.
They were not selling any houses. No. And that was the whole storyline. Like, half of them were not selling houses. I'm like, how are you running this?
And I think you at least need to show some, like, nice houses or brokers opens every now and then, and they really struggled with that.
I would love if there was, you know, a Black version of Selling Sunset. I just think...
Selling Potomac.
LOL. Selling Atlanta. Selling Houston.
Oh my god.
Selling Brooklyn. I feel like Selling Brooklyn would be
Selling Harlem.
Selling Harlem. Selling Harlem is a good idea.
I like that one, yeah.
I like Selling Harlem. So what were your expectations coming into season 8?
Well, we did review season 6 last year, so check out that episode if you haven't. We didn't review season 7 on the pod, but it was pretty messy. I feel like season 7 ended with multiple people not on good terms. Chelsea and Bre still going at it because Chelsea kept coming for Bre's relationship with Nick Cannon. To be fair, it's
I mean, rightfully so.
I would come for it too. You had Chriselle and Nicole beefing over a few things. One, like some real estate issues and like whether or not they split it evenly, the work and who got paid for something. But then also like a comment that Nicole responded to in one of her Instagram posts that Chriselle thought was homophobic. And then Chriselle and Amanda also having issues because Amanda felt like Chriselle wasn't really being a good friend or available to her. And then there were issues with Amanda renovating G-Flip's studio. Like, it was just the most craziest things to be upset about. I was like,
and
what is
Amanda
going
not
on?
getting paid for the work.
It was just messy.
That was a mess.
And then I would say, like, the biggest cliffhanger was whether or not Bre would leave the O Group. She was threatening to leave because she wanted more, like, a better split in terms of commission between the brokers and as an agent.
That was such a dumb fight. I actually was like, girl, you're not leaving. You want the cameras. You want the paycheck from being on Selling Sunset.
No way.
Please get out of here. Ain't no way you're ever leaving these cameras. I was like, girl,
didn't make sense
like
at
everyone's getting the same split. The fact that she was like, well, this isn't fair. You've been at this brokerage for 6 months.
You're new.
Please.
Why?
Please.
Would you deserve to have a better split than Chriselle, Mary,
Nicole?
That's crazy.
People have been there for 10 years. Are you serious?
Get it together, Bre.
I was like, please, Bre. Please leave. I do not need to see you on my screen anymore.
So I was just worried about the status of all these relationships coming in.
It's been a mess and remains in an even hotter mess. Okay, and speaking about mess, we're going to break this down like we do with our season 6 episode of Selling Sunset. We're going to talk about the different beefs, the main beefs from the season. Mm-hmm. And we start out with Mary v. Chelsea, which I thought was a bizarre beef. So, like, Mary goes on like a podcast or like does an interview, an article, something, and calls Chelsea like a bad friend. Do you remember
the
that?
Least trustworthy in the office.
Yes, like the least trustworthy. And Chelsea girl, she like was so upset by that. It's like, who cares? It was an interview. It was
very dramatic. I was like, relax, please. And of course, convenient, Jason puts them on a listing together in Manhattan Beach as they're feuding. Classic.
And they were, neither of them were happy.
Like the producers whispered in his ear, hey, you gotta put
Jason.
on a listing together.
They hate each other. And they were just straight up not having a good time at that listing. Like, it still seems like it's really awkward between them.
Yeah. And Chelsea, because she lives in Manhattan Beach, thought she had more of the expertise. Mary had more background with more expensive listings, so she thought she would have the best expertise, and they just were butting heads. It came to a head when they had like their first kind of big brokers open, where Mary was there early, setting up, and Chelsea showed up late. If you were co-listing a house and you're having a broker's open, why would you not be on time?
That was not good. I immediately was like, why is she arriving when the guests are arriving?
Like an hour after all the guests arrived. I don't get it.
Everyone's like, where's Chelsea?
Grand entrance. You don't need to be fashionably late. You're running this.
And Scortgate. What did you think of Miss Chelsea's outfit at the Brokers Open?
I personally am not a fan of her style. I think she does the most. It's not how I would dress. It's hard because I don't think you should politicize what people wear and comment on women's outfits. But she couldn't bend. Her booty was hanging out. This is a professional Brokers Open. Make it a couple inches longer. I did think her skirt was too short. I thought it was inappropriate for a real estate event.
I mean, it definitely was short. It was very short. I guess my thing is that they all wear insane outfits. Yeah. They all look crazy. They're all the time, their boobs are out. Like, they're wearing the tightest things. So I was just like, you're going to call Chelsea out for wearing that outfit when everyone in the office wears the most outrageous outfits? I just didn't. I don't know. It felt kind of targeted. I was like, why is everyone attacking the black woman when you all dress the exact same?
And I agree.
They all wear skimpy outfits.
Yeah, they all wear skimpy outfits, but I felt like this one was pretty bad.
The skirt was too short, right? It was too short. But I was just, the audacity for Mary to go to Jason and be like, you need to tell Chelsea to not wear a skirt so short. And I'm like, are you being serious? Yeah. You guys all wear the skimpiest outfits. You guys barely wear clothes to these meetings, and you're gonna tell Jason that? I actually thought that was so ridiculous. I
feel
was like,
Mary was annoyed that Chelsea was late, and she was like using that as a way to kind of get back at her.
I think so too. I think it was like vengeful. And Chelsea was like, your boobs are always out. And then Mary's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, it's true. You guys all wear the craziest outfits. I just thought it was annoying.
Like, Mary doesn't wear as crazy as the others.
I do agree with that. She's a bit, I mean, I guess slightly more conservative.
Yeah, it's not
she
by
still
much,
wears
but
super tight.
I do feel
lots
like
of cleavage.
Amanda and Emma and Chriselle,
Bree's out.
They are more on Chelsea level, and then you have like Nicole, Mary, the new Alana girl being a bit more conservative.
Yes. So
conservative for Selling Sunset.
It seems like Mary and Chelsea don't really resolve their issues. They have a conversation, and then Romaine kind of gets in the middle of it. And that was not good. Romaine was like talking back at Chelsea. I was like, oh no, that was not good.
Can we talk about Romaine's new face or teeth or something? What's going on?
I mean, I feel like everyone always looks like just.
But did you notice? Snatched. I was like, Romaine looks unrecognizable. I'm like, what did he do?
That honestly didn't stand out to me.
What?
But Mary's face is like, oh, and
Reddit
her teeth are like,
it's veneers, Botox, and fillers, probably.
the big three: veneers, Botox, and fillers. That's the Selling Sunset special. They all look like that. Like Mary's face looks like that. Gosh. Her face is like, her teeth are so white and like.
Really noticed it because we saw him on the show initially looking normal. And then all of a sudden,
he was looking good. Like,
yeah, I'm like, what did he do? Is this what Hollywood does to people?
No, it's true. Every celebrity has at least one of those big three.
Oh my gosh, Laura! And now I'm looking at all these before and after photos of the cast.
No, they're all plucked and pumped up and like.
Oh my gosh! Even Chelsea, everything. I can't.
No, all of them look insane.
So different.
On to our next beef.
Yes.
Chelsea was going through it this season. I was feeling bad for her. So Bre versus Chelsea. I know that you weren't feeling as bad for Chelsea. I just felt like
Chelsea, she has thrown a lot of stones, and it kind of felt like karma. After the way she talked about Bre the last 2 seasons.
But was she okay? Yes, she was harsh on Bre. But was she incorrect?
No.
Her situation with Nick Cannon is weird.
The delivery was brutal and very judgmental.
It was. She definitely could have been less judgmental.
Yeah, what is the saying? Like, don't throw a stone if you live in a glass house.
I know. And that's, was kind of Bre's point this season.
Yeah.
I also, okay. So, we see. I also just am not the biggest Bre fan. So,
I'm
you see...
Either.
This new woman, Amanda, shows up. Bre's friend. I don't believe they're actually friends.
Real estate agent.
Yeah, another real estate agent just pops up. And immediately I'm like, this woman seems strange. She was like, Bre, I have tea on Chelsea. And Bre was like, ooh, so excited. And she basically spills that and has receipts that Chelsea's husband has been cheating on her. And like the way they were smiling and being so villainous during this conversation was like so disturbing. I was so uncomfortable. What did you think about Amanda in this convo?
It felt very like staged and planned,
right?
Which is why I think, Chelsea and the other girls were a little suspect. Like, especially Bre doesn't like Chelsea. They have beef. It seems like the perfect opportunity for her to, get back at Chelsea with this information. Like, it felt too convenient. And it also felt like, Amanda's like, my opportunity to get on the show, right?
Right.
Like, I think there were ulterior motives on both sides. I don't know if you heard this, but people are saying that Amanda's racist. And there are all these, like, old tweets of her, like, saying, like, the N-word and stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
So it looks even worse now that
targeting Chelsea,
brought this like racist woman in to target Chelsea.
What a mess. Yeah, I didn't know that until you told me that she had these racist tweets. Do you think that, oh my gosh, do you think Bre, it was interesting at first, Chelsea was like, thank you so much. They seemed to be in a better place. Bre was talking about how she had been cheated on. Do you think Bre was being genuine or messy or calculated? Because it turned from, like Bre was being supportive to Bre's being messy.
I initially thought Bre was being messy, right? It's her perfect opportunity to get back at Chelsea, right? This is a TV show.
Embarrass her. Exactly.
Literally, get back at her. But Bre seemed really kind of like shocked that they would think she wasn't being genuine. And so like it honestly was kind of like her reaction afterwards. It had me like, was she being genuine? But then when she like decides to be buddy with Amanda and get tea from Nicole later on, I was like, maybe Bre isn't being genuine after all. Like I think I flip-flopped a bit.
The way that this Amanda girl, like in the finale, Bre and Amanda were all buddy, and Amanda was sitting on the desk and sitting on Chelsea's desk and laughing, and Bre being like, ha ha ha, we can't wait for you to join the O group. I literally was like, this feels like a plot, right? It kind of felt like, oh, you brought this girl to make fun of Chelsea, make her look bad, and it also seems like a plot to get her on the show, right? And like ruin Chelsea's life. I think I flip-flopped too after seeing that conversation and Bre, seemed genuine. I was like, okay, maybe they can move forward and be friends. But the way that Bre flipped in the end, I did not like that at all. It made her look really bad. Yeah, and I just don't like how Bre's like, oh, you don't trust me? Well, I'm going to be your worst nightmare. Like, she flips so fast and needs to be like
healthy.
The worst kind of person, right? She's not like, okay, I'll be indifferent. She's like, no, I need to attack and you're dead to me. Like,
she likes being a villain.
That's not good, right?
No,
Bre is a villain. Put her on House of Villains.
Mean girl. Oh my gosh, put her on House of Villains.
She would be good on House of Villains. Put Christine Quinn on House of Villains. Put Bre Tiesi.
So
let's
funny.
Go.
So I'm curious what you think about Chrishell and Emma feeling like they were in the middle and like how they had to take sides because they were both friends with Bre and with Chelsea. I didn't know that all of a sudden Emma was Chelsea's bestie. That was new to me. I was like, since when are you her ride or die? Like that. I know
she was like, this is my girl. I see both Emma and Chrishell's POV because Emma's like, you brought this information on camera. You brought this girl on to embarrass Chelsea. I don't want to be friends with someone like that. I can get that, right? And if she was already close with Chelsea, she's like, she's going through a horrible time. Her husband's cheating on her. Like, I need to be there for my friend. So I can like also see why she's like, Chelsea needs me, and I don't know if I can trust you. I'm here to support Chelsea. But I also, Chrishell is probably the best person on the cast. Consistently, like she just seems like the nicest person. And she's like, well, Bre's my friend. I don't think she's a bad person. So I'm gonna try and be there for both of them. I don't think they should have chosen sides, but I respect both of their moves. How about you?
I feel like it's tough when you are put in the middle, whether it's like friends or parents, whatever. I honestly kind of liked Chrishell's approach of trying to be there for both of them. I was a little surprised, like, Emma, if you're supposed to be good friends with both of them, why are you so fast, like, done with Bre? It makes me think you weren't really her friend to begin with. Or that you value Chelsea's friendship more than Bre's, which is how Bre ended up feeling, which is why she cut off Emma right away. So I actually like how Chrishell handled it better, because if you're actually genuinely friends with these people, you should try to see how you can be there for both of them at the end of the day.
I'm with you. Just my plea to the Oppenheim brothers, do not make Amanda a part of the O group.
Ooh,
and
please now.
Please.
And I don't think the cast members would come back. Like, Chelsea's been on social media like, I never want to film with this racist. Like, I didn't want her to be on the show, all this stuff.
They somehow still have all these heinous people on the cast. It took them like 5 seasons to get rid of Christine.
Yeah,
After
they
her saying the most
lean into drama,
heinous things.
so.
We're now talking about Nicole versus Chrishell and Emma. I genuinely do not understand why Nicole is on the cast. Like, she can still work at the Oppenheim Group and not be on the cast. Like, I understand
Like
she's been there
Davina.
for like 15 years. Yes, Davina. And remember, there was that annoying woman who was on The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh,
Who
like
was-
short-lived. I barely remember her.
Yes, but she was like kind of a villain on The Bachelor. But she works at the O Group, but she's just not right. She's not on the cast, but she works there. Like, do that with Nicole. Why? Nicole offers nothing. She's just
pretty
pure
pointless.
evil. She has no personality, and it literally just feels like, oh, we need someone really messy. We need someone horrible because Christine's gone, and Nicole's that person. It's like, she's not fun. Christine was at least offered something. Christine had like some personality, but Nicole offers no fun at all.
Zero.
Is she slipping money to the producers? Like, it does not make sense.
She has like some kind of hold over someone,
right?
Yeah. Like Jason and Brett are indebted to her or something.
I know, she must have some dirt on them. I'm like, why is she still on this cast? She makes no sense. So at the beginning of the season, we see like a text exchange about Chrishell being like, oh, yay, thank you all for your support. I won a GLAAD award. You know, I'm so appreciative despite homophobes being on the cast. It was like
so passive aggressive.
Right. There was a dig at Nicole in that message.
So passive.
Right. You know, Chrishell didn't have to say that.
No.
But Nicole like wrote a huge message like in all caps in that chat. And it was just like not a good look, Nicole. Right? Like, just let it go. Right? You don't need to respond to Chrishell.
She took the bait.
She took the bait and proved Chrishell's point.
But I don't think she proved that she was homophobic with that. I think she defended herself. I think they were both in the wrong for that text fiasco. I feel like Chrishell is being like really intense about it. And I can understand you're hurt and trying to protect your wife and all of that. I totally understand. But it felt like she was really going in on Nicole. I'm glad that they made up, but it just seemed like almost too intense of a reaction to me.
Yeah, I get Chrishell's perspective. Is Nicole homophobic? Probably not, right? Like, probably not. But I do think, like, why? Like, this person, right, said something derogatory about G-Flip in this message. And you being like, oh, thank you. And someone said something, like, homophobic. Like, why would you respond to that? And Jason made a good point. He was like, Nicole, just say, I didn't realize, like, that he said something so harmful. Yeah. Yes, like, I just liked and responded to it because they were saying something bad about you. Not because I was supporting that derogatory comment. And it's like, why? Like, Nicole is so proud and, like, just so stubborn that she didn't think to say that. Just admit that you did that, you know, and just be like, oh, obviously I wasn't supporting what this person was saying, but I was frustrated and upset by people supporting you and hating on me, that I was happy someone was supporting me. Yes, Chrishell was extreme, but I understand why she was mad.
Like, ran away with it and was assassinating Nicole's character. Like, it felt very dramatic to me. It's like,
I know, but Nicole's kind of the worst. Nicole's the worst.
I don't like Nicole either, but I felt like she was being ganged up on. Like, I don't really like the gangster mentality.
I mean, yes, I think her being like, Nicole, you're homophobic, you hate the gays. Like, obviously that kind of...
And then, like, the passive-aggressive text after the GLAAD Awards. Come on, Chrishell. That's intense.
I know.
And then Chrishell's like, I never called you homophobic. It's like...
You were calling her homophobic, like, for 6 months. Yeah.
Am I missing something? You've literally been saying she's homophobic for 6 months. Come on.
So what did you think of Nicole spreading this Emma rumor on this season?
This is when I really thought Nicole started to lose her way. Because...
What is wrong with this woman?
After the Chrishell makeup, I was like, she's in the clear. She can just have, like, a clean conscience. Like, we're set. We're good. Clean slate. And this, I think, started to show why maybe a lot of the women don't like her.
Right.
because she kept trying to bring up this rumor that Emma was sleeping with a married man on camera. And every time she brought it up, most of the cast shut it down. Like, they weren't really, like, believing it. They're like, oh, whatever. Like, they didn't want to entertain it.
No.
Because
they know how harmful it is.
Yeah.
My gosh.
And then she finally finds an interested party in Bre when Bre's in her vengeful path post being done with Emma. And she's like, ooh, now I have tea on Emma. It's just, are we mean girls in high school? Come on. I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. Don't like villains.
So I went from like being like, oh, they're ganging up on Nicole. Like, I feel bad for her. Don't want her to cry. To then being like, dang, girl, maybe you are the villain.
Nicole is the villain. It's not fun. Like, you're actively trying to ruin Emma's life and her character. And
I feel like she also wants to like find a way to be important to the show. Like, she's trying to find camera time, you know? Because she has nothing else to give. Like, no personality, no storyline.
Bad fashion.
Yeah.
Okay, side note. Who was the worst fashion in the Oppenheim Group?
I feel like Nicole's trying to figure it out.
Nicole by far has the worst fashion.
Yeah, I think
her outfits are so bad.
It's giving like she's going to like prom every time, you know. So it's like her attempt to try and match the level of like the shells and the.
And she always has like a lot of jewelries and like accessories.
Yeah.
Okay, who is the best fashion?
I think Chriselle.
Yeah, I think Chriselle too.
I think she dresses the best. Her hair always looks good. She looks healthier than the others. Sorry, Emma. I feel like you're getting skinnier by the season. I don't know what's going on.
I know.
But it just looking at you makes me feel icky.
They're all so thin. Like when both Bre, when they did the ice bath.
And Chriselle in the ice bath.
Yes, I was looking at both of them like, how are they both so thin?
Because they're on Ozempic, they're doing the ice baths and the saunas and all the different treatments that don't involve working out and aren't eating.
I know, that's the thing. They're always like, oh yeah, like we hate sports. We don't work out. Like I hate running. I'm like, how are you so skinny? Like I don't
doing everything under the sun, every treatment to not have to work out.
Yeah, they're all like, it's insane. They're all so skinny. Yeah, Nicole really lost me. I already did not want to find her. She had already lost me. But I was like, okay, she made up with Chriselle. Let's see if she can redeem herself. This is why I think she's a producer plant. That she's slipping something to the producers, or the producers are actively being like, you need to bring this up on camera. Because it doesn't make any sense. You just mended things with Chriselle, and now you're going to go after her best friend and bring up this damaging rumor that everyone is being like, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a sadist. Maybe she likes making people uncomfortable or attacking others. It just feels really evil. It really does.
Ooh. Should we move on to our categories? I don't want to talk about Nicole anymore.
Okay. Who or what this season, Shelby, did you love to hate? Who do you have mixed feelings about?
The star-studded cameos. I have never seen so many celebrity guests on a Selling Sunset season. I was shocked. Did not expect it at all. And normally, right, you're excited for cameos, but sometimes it'll go too far. Like in The Bear season 3. Check out our review on The Bear season 3 for our thoughts on the bizarre cameos like John Cena. And honestly, this season, initially, like, oh my gosh, wow, like Joey Essex. Oh my gosh, wow, Bre's ex, Johnny Manziel. But then you're like, wait, why are all these trash men being given a platform?
No, thank you.
Deshaun
Watson.
Who has allegations. I'm like, no.
Who are the producers on Selling Sunset?
The show? Did we not do a background check?
Clearly no background checks on this Amanda girl, none on Nicole, none on Deshaun Watson. Like, what's happening?
Clearly don't do background checks on their guests. And the D'Amelio family, I don't even really know to say their name. Yikes. Clearly it shows you I'm not a fan. I'm like, they were on the show. Sophia Franklin, who I didn't even really know, and I had to look her up, but she was the original co-host of Call Her Daddy. And then when her and Alex Cooper,
Yeah.
when they like broke up and the podcast went viral with Alex, now Sophia's trying to do her own thing. Can you imagine? That's insane.
No,
But, like, so
devastating.
she's on
Now
the
Alex
show.
Cooper's like a trillionaire.
And then Michelle Lally from The Valley, all our Bravo-holics.
Yeah,
Michelle
check out
made
our
a cameo.
Vanderpump Valley review episode. I know. I watched this before Shelby did, and I wanted to text her being like, Joey X6, Michelle from the Valley. But I was not going to. There were so many random cameos this season.
Spoiling it. And there were other like athletes and there were other people. I just don't remember all of them. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was strange. Okay, I also have for Love to Hate Pioneer Town. And I'm also going to throw in Alana. Just like Alana, Pioneer Town was giving absolutely nothing. Boring. I don't want to go there. And I also feel like Alana has a hold on production. What? Out of all the beautiful people in Los Angeles, out of all the real estate agents, she offered
She gave nothing.
She gave, go on, girl.
Absolutely nothing.
I was shocked. I was like, her? Why? Because she's really tall and really skinny? Like, I just...
That's it.
And she's rich, and she owns a town that no one goes to. I just genuinely... It made no sense. No sense.
That's all it was.
And that trip to Pioneer Town seemed miserable. Alana, Nicole, Mary, and Amanda living in a dust bowl with nothing to do. That's my worst nightmare.
I also have in Love to Hate Nico's funeral. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I totally understand that for Mary and Jason, Nico was a big part of their life. Yeah. But this was the most elaborate, dramatic funeral I've ever seen for an animal. I literally started watching this episode and I was like gasping. The outfits, the editing, the music, everyone like crying when they're like dabbing at their eyes when they're speaking. I was like, is this real? I honestly couldn't believe it. It was so dramatic.
The funeral is wild. I was tweeting all throughout while watching this because I just had so many thoughts during the season. So go follow Sisters You Watch on Twitter. I was like, why is this the traitors right now at Nico's funeral?
Make it make sense.
Okay, something else I have for Love to Hate are Emma's empanadas. Because at that
still crazy, that's her business.
I know. And I'm most certain that she's white. Like, she's not...
Yeah, like, are you Argentinian?
No.
Probably not.
No. Comment. Let us know if we're wrong. But I remember looking this up being like, is she Latina? And I'm pretty sure she's not. But at that potluck that they had at the end of the season, also Bre bringing a chef, that was so...
Chrishell getting Blood's barbecue, which we've been to, and dumping it out in car. I'm like, Chrishell, just leave it in the container. Why do you need to make it seem like you made it?
Stuck in that.
So obviously you didn't make it because it's just like in the form of the mold. Oh my gosh, these people are nuts.
No, I was like, this potluck sounds horrible. And Bre bringing a chef? I'm like, girl, like, get out of here. I'm like, you can, like, what?
Don't want to go to their potluck.
No. And Emma, I think Mary also brought empanadas. Yeah, and Emma was so offended. She was like, who brought the empanadas? Who brought the empanadas? And I was like, oh my gosh. And she literally took Mary's empanadas and threw them off the balcony.
Disrespectful. Oh. First of all, don't waste food. Second of all, don't litter. Third of all, who do you think you are? Are you the queen of empanadas? No. Everything about it I didn't like. The entitlement, the disregard, the wastefulness. No, Emma, not a good look.
That was insane. I literally like gasped. I was like, did she just throw the food up?
Crazy.
I could not believe it. I could not believe it.
But annoying. So I can see why it's in Love to Hate.
Okay, what do you have for Hate to Hate?
So at the end of the season, it's like a big bomb Jason drops that he's getting a listing that belongs to Kanye West. Redacted. We barely talk
We're
about this man.
dead.
It's a house that he stripped to the bones. Like, he tore off the dryer. Like, he basically destroyed it. And it's literally just, like, concrete.
Disturbing.
First of all, that's scary. I feel like there are probably ghosts and demons in the house.
That house
They need
needs
to do
some
like
sage.
a seance or something. I do not want to live in Kanye West's house.
That
A lot has been going on
to
there.
the concrete.
Yikes! Bad news.
Like
No
God
thanks.
needs to enter that house, please.
Really bad. And they want to list it at, was it over like $30 million?
Girl, by delusion. Jason
Everyone
is
in the
delusional.
was like, you're selling a bare bones property?
Concrete? You're selling concrete.
No way. That's not a multi-million-dollar home. Stop.
And he was like, well, the architect, he's never
famous.
It's
He's known for the concrete and the bones and the structure.
Yeah, everything that's, the staple of the artist is still there. All the bones are there. Look at the stairs.
You're delusional. You're very delusional.
No one is going to buy that house.
No one. Remember
Nobody.
when Davina was trying to sell like that really expensive house?
For like $150 million
Yeah,
or something.
it's giving that. No one's going to buy this.
It never sold.
It never sold.
I remember after the season going on the Oppenheim website, the house was still on the website. No one was buying that thing. And no one's going to buy this Kanye West house.
No one's going to buy this
Nobody.
abandoned Kanye West.
There's some
Kanye West.
bad juju in that house.
No thanks.
Gosh, and something else
Yikes.
for this category that we hate to see. All the drama. Like, what a mess. The racist tweets coming out from this woman, Amanda, who should not have even been on the season. Everyone's fighting. Chelsea is like, I'm not coming back on this season. And then Chrishell, obviously watching the season and seeing everything back, was like, I'm not coming back if Nicole's coming back. She's ruining lives. Like, the cast is so divided right now. It's so bad.
Because of that, they're not having a reunion, which I also hate to hate. I feel like of all the seasons to have a reunion.
We need a reunion.
This was the one. It's like, it's Emma talking to Bre and Nicole. Like, there's just a lot of bombs that were dropped in the finale that we need to dive into. It reminds me of how the most recent season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey didn't have a reunion. And remember when Roni had to be rebooted, they didn't have a reunion? It's like, when the cast is that, they're like, no, we cannot get these people in a room together. It won't be good. Which is kind of sad.
It is sad.
Because it reminds me of, like, what happened with Vanderpump this past season. And we don't even know, is Vanderpump coming back? Like, Selling Sunset has not been renewed for season 9 yet. Will this come back?
Netflix needs to do something, because this is one of their most popular shows.
It's too good.
It's too good. You can't get rid of it.
Show.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do to make sure Chrishell comes back. We will not miss Nicole.
You cannot lose Chrishell.
You can't lose Chrishell, and you can lose Nicole.
Nobody wants to. We're the Nicole fans. Rise up. Let us know. Because I don't. Who is rooting for her? They don't exist. Get rid of Nicole. You can get rid of Bre. Yeah, I know honestly, Bre has fans, but get rid of her.
She's polarizing, but she's kind of becoming like a cancer for the show, to be honest.
She's like, especially now she's buddy with Nicole.
She's like the new Christine.
She is kind of giving Christine. Bre is definitely giving Christine.
What a turn.
I know. And get rid of Alana.
Oh
why?
My God.
Why is this woman on my TV screen? I genuinely don't understand. Stop trying to make Alana happen. Fetch is never going to happen. Please. Okay. Did you love to love anything from this season?
Well, there was one OG that returned, Maya.
Yeah.
Who now lives in Miami, made an appearance. And she tried to, like, bring the office together. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, I liked that.
I feel like she kind of took the place briefly of, like, Heather. Remember Heather? This was her first season not on the show.
I know.
Because, she's now with Tarek, has an HGTV show, kind of living her best life.
Honestly, she won.
Like, she wasn't approached by Netflix. And I'm like, why wouldn't you want Heather back? Like, that just felt a
Like
little
for
weird
a
to
Netflix
me.
show or for
Yeah.
Selling Sunset?
No, for Selling Sunset. They did not approach her to return.
Maybe she was boring.
Maybe. That's fair. She was barely on season 7.
Yeah.
But I feel like they lost a bit of, like, that unifying force, which I think Maya tried to do briefly.
Yeah, it was good to see Maya back. She's, like, so fun and so lovely.
Good energy.
Yeah. And she seems so real and authentic compared to everyone else on the show. Everyone else on the show, it seems like they're playing a character.
Yeah, honestly.
The only person
it's hard
who
to know what's
doesn't-
real.
Right? I don't know, Chriselle seems really genuine to me. Like, I think she's the only one that feels kind of, like, centered, right? She was like, oh, I don't want to pick sides. Like, you guys are both my friends. Like, she's the only one that seems, like, actually authentic. I think Amanda also seems quite authentic. I do like Amanda.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she didn't get that much storyline. But
Besides
I
her
did
art
like her
show.
art show.
Yeah.
The art show was good.
It was good. I'm glad she seems to be, like, leaning into her passions and kind of, like, reinventing herself. She celebrated like a big birthday too this season, and
had some health challenges.
Yeah, I'm glad, because she seems to always have, like, a lot of personal issues going on, so it seems like it was good for her to kind of end this season on a high note with her art show.
Yeah. On to red flag, green flag, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Shelby, is it a red flag to buy cars as a coping mechanism? Retail therapy?
I have definitely done retail therapy before. You know, sometimes you have a bad day and you want to treat yourself with a pair of shoes. I'm not doing retail therapy that costs me like over $200,000.
No Ferraris?
No Ferraris. It seems like that should be a decision you like sleep on or take some time to reflect. I mean, hey, it must be nice. You can drop $275,000 on a car in an afternoon. But it just seems like really unhealthy. Like, your dog dies and all of a sudden you need to buy a Ferrari. Like, maybe go to actual therapy. Maybe do some journaling and reflection. Maybe get a new dog. Like, I feel like there probably could have been healthier ways for him to, like, deal with that loss. So I actually think it's a red flag. But retail therapy in general, I think, isn't the worst thing. But I think in Jason's case, it was a red flag. Okay, Laura, I have a question for you. Is it a green flag to feed your dog McDonald's if it's their favorite meal?
I think it is a red flag. That can't be healthy for a dog to be eating McDonald's. No, it's not healthy for humans to be eating McDonald's. No. You said that, at the funeral, they ordered McDonald's.
Yes.
And they were all feeding the dogs.
Yes. In honor of Nico's favorite meal, rest in peace, Jason and Mary ordered hamburgers from McDonald's for everyone. And then Chriselle and Nicole and all the attendees who had their dogs were they feeding their dogs the hamburgers. And I was like, what am I watching? This can't be real. I kid you not, I thought it was a joke. Like,
nothing from this season was real.
Hamburgers from McDonald's don't seem like the best kind of kibble or food that a dog should be ingesting.
No.
Just food for thought. Food for thought.
Yeah, that was wild. I agree.
Definitely not green.
What are your overall parting thoughts? Was season 8 of Selling Sunset a wait or a watch?
I think it's a watch. It was a recent binge for me. Like you mentioned, Laura, you'd watched it a while ago. I'm just catching up on it. And I was pretty entertained. Pleasantly surprised, because I think, right, a show in its 8th season can sometimes fall flat. But I think this one was pretty dramatic and star-studded. I was into it. What about you?
I think I have kind of mixed feelings because watching it, I pretty much binged it. It was entertaining, but I just felt so gross. The way that everyone was coming for Chelsea, the way that her marriage was falling apart, and then the way that Nicole was just, she was crying like, I'm not homophobic, Chriselle, forgive me. And then she's spreading rumors about Emma being with a married man. I was just like, what? Like, I just felt like so gross. Watching Amanda kind of be devious, Bre and Amanda being devious together, and then hearing that Amanda loves using the N-word on Twitter. Just
I can't.
I just felt really gross after watching this season.
That's fair.
And talking about it, I'm just like, ugh, like all these people. There's just so much negativity. I felt like there was no joy this season. I mean, we literally had a dog funeral. Like, what? So, I mean,
Pioneer Town wasn't joyous for you?
No. That might have been the worst trip they've been on. What was the trip they went to, like, Palm Springs, and that was a nightmare?
Oh, that was bad, but mostly because it was just all fighting. Like, no one liked each other. They had to be on, like, separate sides of everything.
Yeah, that was when Nicole and Chriselle got into it. Yeah, that was really bad. But at least that was entertaining. Pioneer Town was a horrible trip. Like, the four of them doing nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't love this season, but it was... I mean, if you're a Selling Sunset fan, it's a watch, but... Yeah. I don't know. It was a bit of a mess.
And for our What to Watch segment, like we mentioned, unsure if there will be a season 9. It has not been renewed yet, but honestly, I hope it is. I do think this is one of Netflix's better shows.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, right, we mentioned the social media drama has been piping hot. So we got to keep tabs, see what's going on, see if any of these people are still friends. And of course, there are other Netflix real estate shows you can be watching. Buying Beverly Hills, Buying London, and Owning Manhattan with Ryan Serhant.
If you enjoyed this episode of Sisters Who Watch, make sure you give us 5 stars wherever you listen. Please. Apple, Spotify, 5 stars, please. Yeah, and give us a follow on all our social media platforms at Sisters Who Watch. DM us, comment on our posts, interact with us. We want to hear from you guys. Yeah, and you can support us by buying our merch at sisterswhowatch.com, donating on listener support on Spotify, and selling us sisterswhowatch@gmail.com.
Yes, appreciate y'all so much. We want to hear from you, so please comment on Spotify, comment on our social media posts, and YouTube. Let us know what you think. You can DM us on social media and also email us at sisterswhowatch@gmail.com. We welcome any feedback, comments, or suggestions. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Stay watching.
Everything.
Bye.